Hey y'all, it's Belle. Welcome back to my channel. Today's gonna be something a little different. I'm gonna do my most anticipated February releases. I'm not gonna do the ones that have already come out as I'm filming this video, so the next upcoming release I think will be February 8th. So we're gonna start with that date and go forward. I needed another idea for a video. Figured out, I think, how to put a picture on the screen, so that was the only thing stopping me from doing this before, so I did figure it out. It wasn't that hard. And instead of doing them like months, I'll do monthly because there's always so many that I look forward to, and it'll be more video ideas for me. And there's 18 books in this video, so there's quite a bit. So 15 are new release, like first in series or standalones, and then at the end I'm gonna do the 3 sequels or continuations in a series that I have, and they're all UK releases, so I'll put those at the end. To start with, we have, I don't think they'll be right here, the covers. The View from the Very Best House in Town by Meera, Trehan. And I won an ARC of this in a giveaway the publisher did, so I need to read that very soon. So that'll be my next book I read in my books I'm currently reading that I need to have read for a review, or not had to, but you know what I mean. And this is Sam and Asha, Asha and Sam. Their friendship is so long established they take it for granted. Just as Asha takes for granted that Donnybrook, the mansion that sits on the highest hill in Corville, is the best house in town. But when Sam is accepted into snobbish Castleton Academy as an autistic miracle boy, he leaves Asha, who is also autistic, to navigate middle school alone. He also leaves her wondering if she can't take anything for granted anymore, because soon Sam is spending time with Preston, Asha's nemesis, whose family owns Donnybrook, and, since a housewarming party gone wrong, has forbidden Asha to set foot inside. Who is Asha without Sam, and who will she be when it becomes clear that Preston's interest in her friend isn't so friendly? So very excited to read that. I'm very happy I won. And then we have The Keeper by Guadalupe, Garcia, McCall. Also comes out on February 8th. It's inspired by a terrifying true story, so I already love that. James always knew that moving from Texas to Oregon was going to be horrible, but no sooner have he and his family arrived at their perfect new home and their perfect new town than he starts getting mysterious letters from someone called the Keeper, someone who claims to be watching him, someone who is looking for young blood. James and his sister Ava are obviously in danger, but the problem with having a history of playing practical jokes is that no one believes James, not even his parents. Now James and Ava need to figure out who's sending the letters before they become the next victims in their neighborhood's long history of missing children. Because one thing is clear, uncovering the truth about the Keeper is the only thing that will keep them alive. And then it's got a Kirkus review already. Part new kid in town, coming of age story, part supernatural thriller. So love that. It seems like there's going to be a great lesson of the boy who cried wolf in here. But based on true story, like, I'm very intrigued by that and cannot wait. Also on February 8th is The Witch, the Sword, and the Cursed Knights by Alexandria Rogers. And I had won an ARC several months ago that the author did on her IG. She did a giveaway. And this is one of my top favorite books of the year. Highly recommend it. It says, this Amazon best book of the month is charming fantasy debut that puts the new spin on the Legend of Camelot, perfect for fans of the School for Good and Evil and A Tale of Magic. So true. School of Good and Evil is my favorite series of all time. So good. 12-year-old Ellie can't help that she's a witch. The most hated member of society, determined to prove her worth and eschew her heritage, Ellie applies to the Fairy Godmother Academy, her golden ticket to societal acceptance. But Ellie's dreams are squashed when she receives the dreaded draft letter to serve as a knight of King Arthur's legendary Round Table. She can get out of the draft, but only if she saves a lost cause. Enter Caedmon, a boy from Wisconsin struggling with the death of his best friend. He first dismisses the draft as ridiculous. Magic can't possibly exist. But when Merlin's ancient magic foretells his family's death if he doesn't follow through, he travels to the knight's castle, where he learns of a wicked curse leeching the knights of their power. To break the curse, Ellie and Caedmon must pass a series of deathly trials and reforge the lost shattered sword of Excalibur. And unless Ellie accepts her witch magic and Caedmon rises to become the knight he's meant to be, they will both fail, and the world will fall to the same darkness that brought King Arthur and Camelot to ruin. I'm going to be definitely getting a finished copy. It's beautiful, and it's an all-time favorite, and I just love the different spin. You can read my full review on Goodreads, and I think I have it on, I don't remember, I think I had read it after I started YouTube, but Also on February 8th is Loyalty by Avi, or Avi. Never sure how to say his name. I have several books by him, and I'm always intrigued by all of them because he usually does historical fiction. And this one just sounds amazing, and the cover is gorgeous. Newbery medalist Avi explores the American Revolution from a fresh perspective and the story of a young loyalist turned British spy navigating patriotism and personal responsibility during the lead up to the War of Independence. When his father is killed by rebel vigilantes, Noah flees with his family to Boston. Intent on avenging his father, Noah becomes a spy for the British and first-hand witness to the power of partisan rumor to distort facts, the hypocrisy of men who demand freedom while enslaving others, and the human connections that bind people together regardless of stated allegiances. Awash in contradictory information and participating in key events leading to the American Revolution, Noah must forge his own understanding of right and wrong and determine for himself where his loyalty truly lies. That sounds phenomenal, and it sounds like a very important story, and so excited. Also on February 8th is A Baker's Guide to Robber Pie by Sangster. Such a gorgeous cover. It says, a clever young girl looking for adventure gets more than she bargained for when she stumbles into a nest of robbers in this tale baked with magic, fun, and friendship. Evie Baker is a great storyteller, an avid prankster, and a fantastic baker. And while she loves her parents' bakery, she has no plans to stay in their small town and become stuffy or static. Evie wants to go on adventures, and she knows just what she needs to do it. With her best friend Cicely by her side, Evie sets off into the old forest to find one of the Fell, a group of crow-like magical creatures who can't lie. She is sure her family's irresistible raspberry tart and a carefully crafted deal will get them to take her on a magical adventure, without getting her eaten or worse. But the forest hides many dangers, and when they finally find their Fell, they also discover a nest of robbers. Having seen the robber lord's face, Evie is whisked away into hiding for her own protection. But even in the Queen's own city, trouble has a way of finding her. YA novelist Sangster makes her middle grade debut in A Baker's Guide to Robber Pie, a fun fairy tale filled with adventure, friendship, baking, and the power of a tale well told. So many things. Magic, it sounds so unique and imaginative, very creative, and then baking. Anything with food in it, I'm there for. Food and magic, such a great combination, very excited. Also on February 8th, A Comb of Wishes by Lisa Stringfellow. Another gorgeous cover, very excited for this. Set against the backdrop of Caribbean folklore, Lisa Stringfellow's spellbinding middle grade debut tells of a grieving girl and a vengeful mermaid and will enchant readers who loved Casey Callender's Hurricane Child or Christian McKay Heidecker's Scary Stories for Young Foxes. Ever since her mother's death, Kella feels every bit as broken as the shards of glass known as mermaid's tears that sparkle on the Caribbean beaches of St. Rita. So when Kella and her friend Lissy stumble across an ancient-looking comb in a coral cave, with all she's already lost, Kella can't help but bring home her very own found treasure. Far away, deep in the cold ocean, the mermaid Ophidia can feel that her comb has been taken, and despite her hatred of all humans, her magic requires that she make a bargain, the comb in exchange for a wish. But what Kella wants most is for her mother to be alive, and a wish that big will exact an even bigger price. Don't miss the novel that Newbery-winning author Kelly Barnhill calls one of the most promising works of fiction in a long time. I haven't read many Caribbean folklore, so very excited for that and this, and then the mermaids, and then just very excited. And then finally, off of February 8th, this comes out February 15th, Solimar by Pam Muñoz Ryan, and it says, middle grade fans of this author will find a new Mexican heroine to love in Solimar and a fresh magical story. On the brink of her quinceanera, I think so I said it, in her official coronation, Solimar visits the Oamel forest to sit among the monarch butterflies. There, the sun pierces through a sword-shaped crevice in a boulder, which shines on her and sends the butterflies humming and swirling around her. After the magical frenzy, she realizes she's just been given a gift and a burden. She can predict the near future. She also has become a protector of the young and weak butterflies. This alone would be a huge responsibility, but tragedy strikes when a neighboring king invades while her father and brother and many others are away. The remaining villagers are taken hostage, all except Solimar. Can this princess-to-be save her family, the kingdom, and the future of the monarch butterflies from a greedy and dangerous king? So excited. That's just sounds so fascinating to me. So I'm very excited to read this. And I've never read a book by this author, but I've always heard such amazing things. This sounds like one I would definitely love. Also on February 15th, Anybody Here Seen Frenchie by Leslie Connor. 11-year-old Aurora Petriquin's best friend has never spoken a word to her. In fact, Frenchie Livernois Livernois. Doesn't talk. Aurora is bouncy, loud, and impulsive. A big old blurter. Making friends has never come easily. When Frenchie, who is autistic, silently chose Aurora as his person back in 3rd grade, she chose him back. They make a good team, sharing their love of the natural world in coastal Maine. In the woods, Aurora and Frenchie encounter a piebald deer, a rare creature with a coat like a patchwork quilt. Whenever it appears, Aurora feels compelled to follow. At school, Aurora looks out for Frenchie, who has been her classmate until this year. One morning, Frenchie doesn't make it to his classroom. Aurora feels she's to blame. The entire town begins to search, and everyone wonders, how is it possible that nobody has seen Frenchie? At the heart of this story is the friendship between hyper-talkative Aurora and the non-vocal Frenchie. Conflict arises when Aurora is better able to expand her social abilities and finds new friends. When Frenchie goes missing, Aurora must figure out how to use her voice to help find him and lift him up when he is found. Compelling mystery, and sounds like important, like he's autistic, so very intrigued by this. And then coastal Maine, and I love how he picked her as his person and she chose him back. Like, that's just, I did get an email from HarperCollins about this, and they're supposed to be sending a copy, so very excited for that. Also on February 15th, Encanto, I think that's how you say it, A Tale of Three Sisters by Anika Fajardo. I think this is based on the movie, or the movie's based on one or the other. I think it's a Disney movie. Everyone in the Madrigal family is magical, that is, except for Maribel. The youngest of 3 sisters, Maribel lives in the shadow of Isabel, the golden child, who has flowers grow in her footsteps wherever she walks. She also lives beneath the power of Louisa, the strong one, who can lift mountains, literally, to help people around the town. Her sisters live happy and contented lives in the roles that their magical abilities have created for them, while Maribel is just trying to fit in. Or do they? Told from the differing points of view of Maribel, Louisa, and Isabella, this middle grade novel brings to you the innermost thoughts of the 3 sisters paired with beautiful artwork at the beginning of each chapter. It is the perfect choice for any Encanto fan. So I'm very excited for that. Also on February 15th, Snow Struck by Nick Courage. A historic blizzard is raging across the eastern seaboard, and 3 unsuspecting kids are about to find themselves smack in the middle of it. Perfect for fans of the I Survived series who are looking for a high-stakes adventure. Neither Elizabeth nor her little brother Maddie have ever been north of Georgia. They're used to the sandals and shorts, not boots and parkas. So when they fly to New York City to spend the holidays with their cousin Ashley, they want to experience one thing: snow. Ashley can't wait to show her cousins how magical Manhattan is at Christmas time. But instead of a week of fun, what they get is an Arctic blast that knocks out the power and plunges the skyscrapers into darkness. It's unreal. The blizzard covers the Statue of Liberty in ice and topples the famous Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center. When Ashley's dog Fang gets lost outside, the cousins take matters into their own hands and are caught in the storm's dangerous path as they chase Fang across the frozen city. Can the little Pomeranians survive the cold, snow, and ice blanketing Manhattan? Can they? I have to make sure the dog's okay, of course. I know his name, so I can go to the end and search for his name. But it's middle grade, so usually they are. I hate when they do this, though. Very excited. Also on February 15th is The Swallowtail Legacy, Wreck at Ada's Reef by Michael D. Bale. The publisher had sent me an arc of this to review, so I'm very excited. Punctuated with transcripts, letters, maps, black and white illustrations, and more, The Swallowtail Legacy, Wreck at Ada's Reef is a vibrant contemporary mystery with a classic feel, exploring righting past wrongs, redefining family, and finding yourself. 12-year-old Lark Heron Finch is steeling herself to spend the summer on Swallowtail Island off the shores of Lake Erie. It's the first time that she and her sisters will have seen the old house since their mom passed away. And while her stepfather and his boys are okay, the island's always been full of happy memories, and now everything is different. When Nadine, a close family friend, tells Lark about the tragic boat accident that happened off the coast many years before, Lark's enthralled with the story. Nadine's working on a book about Dinah Purdy, Swallowtail's oldest resident, who had a connection to the crash, and she's sure that the accident was not as it appeared. Impressed by Lark's keen eye, she hires her as a research assistant for the summer. And then Lark discovers something amazing, something that could change Dinah's life, something linked to the crash and even to her own family's history with Swallowtail. But there are others on the island who would do anything to keep the truth buried in the watery depths of the past. So off the shores of Lake Erie, that automatically intrigues me because Lake Erie is about 30 minutes from where I now live. So I love that and love a good mystery. Beautiful cover, very excited for this. Now February 22nd is the first in the Forgotten Five series by Lisa McMahon. This is A Map of Flames. X-Men meets Spy Kids in the new middle grade series from the New York Times bestselling author Lisa McMahon. 15 years ago, 8 supernatural criminals fled Estero City to make a new life in an isolated tropical hideout. Over time, 7 of them disappeared without a trace, presumed captured or killed, and now the remaining one has died. Left behind to fend for themselves are the criminals' 5 children, each with superpowers of their own. Birdie can communicate with animals, Brix has athletic abilities and can heal quickly, Tenor can swim like a fish and can see in the dark and hear from a distance. 7's skin camouflages to match whatever is around him. Cabot hasn't shown signs of any unusual power, yet. Then one day, Birdie finds a map among her father's things that leads to a secret stash. There is also a note. Go to Estora, find your mother, and give her the map. The 5 have lived their entire lives in isolation. What would it mean to follow the map to a strange world full of things they've only ever heard about, like cell phones, cars, and electricity? A world where, thanks to their parents, being supernatural is a crime. Very intrigued by that. Very excited. So far, all the ones I've mentioned have been U.S. releases. So these are the dates and covers that I have for those. And all of these release dates are what are shown as I'm filming this. I know that those can change at all times. This next one is a UK release. I think it's a cover change and the authors updated the story. The Peculiars, I think, was the original title, and I have that one. Now it's called The Carnival of the Lost, and it's by Curie and Larwood. And it comes out February 17th. And a wonderfully murky, carnivalesque world of intrigue, unexpected friendships, and mysteries solved. Sheba the Wolf Girl joins an unusual troupe of performers that includes Pyewacket, a witch's imp, Gigantus, the giant, and Sister Moon, a knife thrower. For the first time in her life, she feels she might make true friends and learn a real stagecraft. But soon that's not all she has to think about. Children are being sucked into the Thames, and there have been strange sightings of a mechanical monster. The carnival troupe know firsthand that looks only tell half a story. They become determined to find these forgotten children. Perhaps they will unravel the mystery that has defied even the law. Illustrated with black and white artwork from superstar illustrator Sam Usher, and the first in a brand new series. Thrilling, original, full of zest and wit, The London Times. An atmospheric and exciting read. Book Trust. A page-turning adventure. The Daily Mirror. Very excited. Now on February 22nd, this is another U.S. release, Unseen Magic by Emily Lloyd-Jones. The magic-infused town of Altamira is the first place 11-year-old Finn has ever felt safe, and she'll do whatever it takes to save her home when she accidentally unleashes a shadow self who wreaks havoc everywhere she goes. Emily Lloyd-Jones' middle-grade debut is an enchanting exploration of self-discovery and finding the place you truly belong. Unseen Magic is for fans of A Wish in the Dark and A Tangle of Knots. Altamira is a town with its own set of rules. There's a tea shop that vanishes if you try to force your way in, crows that must be fed or they'll go through your trash, and a bridge that has a toll that no one knows the cost of. Some say that there may even be Bigfoots wandering through the woods. For Finn, Altamira is her new home, but she's worried that she'll do something to mess it up. That she was the reason she and her mother have constantly moved from place to place for so long. When an upcoming presentation at her school's science fair gives her increasing anxiety, Finn turns to magic to ease her fears. The cost is a memory, but there are things from her past Finn doesn't mind forgetting. This will be the last time she relies on magic anyway, she's sure. Except things don't go exactly as planned, and instead of easing her anxiety, Finn accidentally unleashes an evil doppelganger. Suddenly, Altamira is overrun with unusual occurrence, and Finn is the only one who knows why. She will have to face her fears, literally, to stop it. Very excited. And then another UK release, February 24th, The Sky Beneath Stone by Alex Malarkey. 13-year-old Ivy North is an adventurer. She can pitch a tent in 4 minutes flat, knows the local landscape like the back of her hand, and she's an expert map reader. There's just one problem. She's afraid to go outside. But when her little brother is transformed in a kestrel by a powerful sorcerer, Ivy is the only one who can rescue him. Following him through a mysterious hole in the garden wall, she emerges in Underfell, an enchanted realm that seems like the Lake District she knows, but is dangerously different. Battling her dread of being out in the open, Ivy must gather all her courage to navigate a path across this extraordinary world, where powerful fairies with birds' wings fly through purple skies, and a ghostly specter haunts her every step. With the help of an unexpected new friend, can Ivy break the spell before her brother becomes a bird forever? An immersive and beautifully written fantasy adventure, The Sky Beneath the Stone is a soaring journey of family, friendship, overcoming fear, and realizing that we are never as lost as we think we are. Alex Malarkey's debut novel introduces a captivating new talent in children's fiction. Sounds amazing, and a stunning cover. Okay, now for the 3 sequels coming out that are all UK. First we have Victoria's Stitch, Free and Famous by Harriet Muncaster. It says it comes out February 10th. Another beautiful cover, very excited. And then on February 17th, The Map Makers by Tamsin Merchant. This is the sequel to The Hat Makers, which I read, and it was a really fun magical read. And then on February 17th also, Sabotage on the Solar Express by M.G. Leonard and Sam Sedgman. This is the 4th or 5th book now in the Adventures on Train series, and I love this series so much. I have the latest that's currently out now that I'm going to be reading next for my continuations of series I'm getting caught up on. Love that series so much, and it's just so incredible. So very excited for that too. Alright, I'm sure I've missed some because there's always so many. But I got most of them, I'm sure. Are you excited about any of these? Did you see any you didn't know about that now you're excited? Let me know in the comments. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you would like to subscribe, I would love that if you would like to. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.